Hi, I'm Life Coach Landry, and the topic is 16 questions that can revive your relationship. When you feel that you've stalled out, this is how some questions help you move your relationship forward. When a relationship grows stale, couples tend to believe something's wrong. Maybe I chose the wrong partner. Maybe my partner doesn't care about me. But consider this: what if there isn't anything wrong? And what if it's just a speed bump in a normal course of a long-term relationship? There's a lot of people that, they've been married for a long time, and, people go through all these, is our relationship feels empty. There's no spark left. We don't hate each other, but our relationship just feels flat, or there's no magic, all the words everybody goes through. And every couple is unique, but you can overcome some of these great odds. You may have disliked each other initially, but then something changed, or, the list goes on and on, right? So what does remembering your own love story have to do with, this topic? And I would say, first, if you can take a brick out of a wall that may be separating you and your partner, even one brick removes weaknesses in the wall, right? Allowing room for love to return, meaning putting a better brick in there. So remember, you can build an entirely new wall. So remember, you can give you clues or reminders about strengths in your relationship and strengths that can build on. Remember, healthy couples approach everything with the idea of, what can we do to resolve this so that we love each other even stronger after the conversation? Remembering you can provide you with hope and motivation. Remind yourself that your relationship was previously fulfilling helps to point you in the right direction. It's easy to forget how hard you worked to build this relationship in the first place. It may seem like it happened magically, but it didn't. It takes two people to create a relationship. It doesn't happen by chance. Detail by detail, you formed a special bond by paying attention to each other with the intense focus that, characterizes falling in love, pretty much. Okay. So I'm going to give you 16 questions, and I'm just going to read them off that'll prompt couples to share their story. But even secure couples will benefit from this exercise, because you can jot down answers to share with your partner, or use them as a starting point for conversation that's helpful to both of you. And even if your partner doesn't want to do this with you, it can be helpful for you to do it by yourself and think about it. Okay. So I'm going to start off here with number one. How did you meet? It's, sometimes it's really good to reminisce on why you even started this relationship to begin with. Number two would be what, first attracted you to your partner. Number three, what did you do on your first date? Number four, when did you know this relationship could be something special? Number five, what made you think the relationship could be special? Number six, what did your friends think of the relationship? Very crucial, because if you have lifelong friends, they're lifelong friends for a reason. And if they favor your relationship, that means they see similarities in your relationship with them, and they see it inside your relationship, obviously magnified and better. What did your family think? This is a pretty big one. Some people are very big about, family input. I certainly am. I have a large family, and within that large family, I have very close people that I care about their opinion of things, and I make them a factor in the way I see things as well. They're not decision makers. They're not the overall painter of the picture, but they're a factor in my thinking. Number 8, did you have to overcome any obstacles to be together? And if you did, what were they? And, talk about the positive parts, obviously. If you were married, what made you decide to get engaged? Okay. Number 10, what did you like about your, how you communicated? Huge. This is huge, right? Because, communication in the end is everything. What's the difference between humans and animals? We can talk, they can't. So being a human, communication is just the number one asset. I have clients that I work with, and I hear different relationships and whatnot. And, they always ask me, well, what equals like successful communication? I said, well, it's different for everybody. But what I personally find gratifying is when I can sit with you for hours and laugh and smile, and we can even cross serious topics, but we put our heart into it and we talk about it with a sense of levity to it. Nothing gets too caught up. Nothing gets too serious. Everything in life's okay. We're here to share our stories and bond over it. Okay. Number 11, what kinds of things did you enjoy doing together? Number 12, how did you let your partner know you were loved and cared for? Number 13, how did you nurture each other? Okay, very important. In other words, once you realized they were compatible with you, how did you nurture the sense of that so that they knew it, they felt it, and then they could give it back and be reciprocal with things with you? Number 14, what did you feel were the strengths of your relationship? Number 15, did you feel that any past hurts or pains began to heal by virtue of your relationship? In other words, did you meet somebody who, when you met them, they made you a better person and they helped you get over things from your past? Number 16, what were the times when you felt the most deeply connected? And what were you doing? And what were the circumstances? Other activities we found, over time, I think that everybody can talk about is, listen to music you both previously enjoyed. Watch movies that you enjoyed together in the stages of a relationship, because now that you've seen the movie together, you can talk about it while you're watching it. So it's no longer just watching a movie. It's an experience that you share and you communicate during. Read each other passages of books that you thought were important to you both if you're readers. Look at photos or videos from happy times together. Return to a restaurant you enjoy together but haven't been to in a long time. These are all things that anybody can apply. These 16 things are spark starters for new couples that are stalling out, for couples that have been together a while and just need some kind of magic because there hasn't been any in a while, or couples that have been married for 20 years and they literally just want to review the good times in their life. So I advise you to, if you're anybody who's been saying these things to yourself, I advise that you put these things to work and you get these things started as soon as possible. They're only going to help you. They can't hurt you. So if you'd like to book a personal session, contact me at the email below. And if you found this information of value, show your appreciation by clicking the PayPal donation link below. And I will talk to you soon.